Stress levels are often through the roof when it comes to wills and trusts, especially when large sums of money are involved. But what if it was possible to work with somebody who could help you to easily navigate this complex legal process and also create a peaceful legacy for generations to come? Meet estate planning attorney and trust whisperer, Eileen Kerlin Walsh. She grew up on a small farm in Ireland. She came to the U.S. over 30 years ago and fell in love with Chicago and the American dream. She built her legal practice with a passion for preserving family harmony and eliminating conflict when a loved one passes away and emotions are high. Please welcome Eileen. Hello, Eileen.
Hi, Cindy. Delighted to be here. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I am so delighted to be here. One of the things that's so remarkable about you, Eileen, is that you go so far beyond just doing the legal documents. You really see your profession as a healing profession and really are brilliant with helping your families really work through when there's conflicted relationships. Tell us more about that.
The healing. Well, let me give you a little bit of background with that, Cindy. So straight out of law school, I was a public defender. So I was in court all the time, trying cases. It was a brilliant experience. I learned a lot from that. But there was something about litigation, the adversarial system, that didn't sit quite right with me. So I went into private practice, discovered estate planning, and there I found my home. I love my clients. I love their stories. I know how hard it is for them to come and talk to me. I know why they put this off. They have to talk about their money, their property. They have to tell me about difficult family situations, illnesses, autism, estranged daughter, addictions, divorce. The list is endless.
Yeah.
But these family situations are far more common than anyone realizes. And we have estate planning solutions. We have healing solutions for every one of those situations that my clients put off estate planning for. And I read about an article once that divided lawyers into warriors and healers. And I thought, that's why I did not belong in litigation.
Yeah, that's
I am
right.
not a warrior.
You're not.
I am a healer.
You are definitely a healer.
And that's what we do with estate planning.
That is so beautiful. It's just that warmth is felt with every one of your clients, and just we need more healing in the world, Eileen, and you're one of the catalysts for it. Now, when it comes to estate planning, what is one of the biggest myths?
There are many, Cindy. Maybe I would choose that a will is not enough, or that the myth is that a will is enough. Now, we want people to do wills. A will is better than nothing at all. A good 40% of people don't do anything at all, shockingly. But a will alone does not avoid probate. And Cindy, probate is a court process. It's long-winded, it's expensive, it's public. An estate going through probate is subject to claims and family squabbles in the way that it doesn't have to be. The way to avoid probate is not a will, it is a trust. That's why they call me the trust whisperer. The trust is the solution for everything. All that healing we talked about earlier, all the solutions to the family problems, the asset protection, all of that happens within a trust. So for most of us, a trust is where it's at, not a will.
Wow, that's incredible. I would have never known that. And I love that you've really pulled that all apart for our viewers.
Thank you.
Now, we know already that you were beyond just an estate planning attorney. And even more than that, you've gone so deep to create your Share My Legacy storytelling program. Tell us more about it, and why is this so important to you?
Oh, Cindy. So where shall I start? my clients have to trust me. We have to trust each other. We just talked about how difficult and sensitive the area of estate planning is. So clients tell me their stories, their needs are wrapped in stories. I learn about the difficulties, the obstacles they overcome. I learn about how they built their businesses. I learn about the countries that they came from. So I hear their stories all the time, but those stories don't get into the legal documents. And I thought that was such a shame. I felt those stories should be as much a part of the legacy as the business, the home, the money. And I've just such a soft spot for stories. You mentioned in the intro that I grew up in Ireland. I was away in the country, Cindy. There were 12 of us children. We didn't have electricity. We didn't have TV. And I have such vivid memories of sitting around a turf fire by the light of an oil lamp, and my father and my grandfather smoking their pipes and telling us stories. They talked about banshees and whiskey stills. They told us about the wars, oppressions, the fear of fairies and these big burly farmers. Always story, war, oppression, survival. So we listened transfixed. We wouldn't have dreamt of interrupting. So my clients' stories, my family stories, there was such a need for those stories to be passed on, for those stories not to die with us. So I took this ancient tradition of an ethical will, pre-biblical tradition.
Wow.
And I made it modern. And I turned it into this beautiful legacy letter. And what that is, Cindy, is we meander through your life. We just, 15, 20 pages, so it's not a full memoir. We just go through your life. We dedicate it to someone. We have a few family stories to get the juices flowing. Then we look at the difficult things that you came through. What did you learn from them? What are your values? What are your beliefs? What do you want to be remembered for? As well as what you're grateful for, your hopes and blessings for your family. It is so beautiful. I started it with my clients. They loved it more than their legal documents. It added the warmth of their voices to the legal documents that I knew I was on to a winner. So I took that program out of my law office, and it's now available under Share My Legacy as an online course. It's probably one of the things that I am most proud of what I do. I feel like that's my legacy, to show the world how important their story is and that it's worthwhile leaving for those who come after. And I would also say, my clients, my audiences, my writers start their legacy letter for those coming after them to leave that legacy. By the time it's completed, they themselves are the greatest beneficiary. That's how valuable the process is.
Eileen, that is so beautiful. And of course, that makes all the sense, that just all that reflection and excavation and seeing it on paper allows you to see yourself and your value. And what a huge gift you are to your clients and to the world and to all people who go ahead and do your program. It's remarkable. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and your love and your heart and your vision today.
Thank you, Cindy.
If you are in need of an estate planning attorney who will work with you to make sure that your family's legacy is handled with both precision and care, be sure to get the Essential 6 Basic Estate Plan at theessential6.com. This is a checklist of the documents that every responsible adult needs in place to protect their assets and their loved ones. And when you grab the list, we will also give you a very special gift which will really help you to leave that lasting legacy for your family.